I don't see us on the
Not
stream
yet?
yet.
Oh, heck. Oh, is it transitioning
Oh, I cannot see
right
close
now?
notifications.
Ooh. Hello, everybody. If you can hear us, hi. Ooh, games look a little wonky there. Don't worry, that'll probably be fixed up in a second. I am LiteralGrill, and of course, I have my racing partner, MyOhMyke.
Hello, hello.
It is really awesome to be here and running for you all. We're going to be running some Heartbreak. And the donation incentives for the names, we have closed those. The first name is Steamed. You know, steamed hams. And then second, we have I love y'all, and it's entirely my fault that I messed up how many characters there were in my estimate, so I apologize. We couldn't fit in the word love. We figured some hearts, some hearts would do the trick. I love y'all. It was a good donation. Thank you guys again so much for donating to our run, and of course to the Trevor Project. Please, I think we still have a few incentives here and there and things. I highly recommend donating extra so that the Earthbound run will be 10K Pan May as the character names. Please, for me. It would bring great joy and love to my heart. I'm not gonna lie. So, Heartbreak. I don't know, Mike. Well, what do you have to say about Heartbreak?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Hamtaro lately. I've had 2 different Hamtaro games in some events recently, so I've had a lot of time to think about these Hamtaro video games. And I know sometimes it could be a little controversial, when you have an anime and a manga, and they're not always the same thing, right? Like, fans get very upset if the anime doesn't follow the manga or vice versa. They make changes. I will say that these Hamtaro video games, I think, are set in a completely different universe than the Hamtaro TV show.
Yes, and from what I know, the games kind of follow the storyline from one to another as well. So if you played the previous games, there's not going to be any spoilers or anything like that, but they're like barely connected.
Yeah, and also I am convinced that in the universe of the video games that there's been some sort of apocalyptic events, and all the humans were all dead, and the hamsters have taken over, and they don't really seem all that guilty. They don't seem to be all that guilty about it. But in the 3 games I've played, I haven't seen any evidence of there actually being any humans. But we'll see as we go through the game that there's a very, very vibrant hamster community with hamster-sized attractions and theme parks and all sorts of things for us to do.
Yeah, the game takes place in New Hampshire. Yeah, that's not a true fact, but there's going to be a lot of terrible puns in here. I'm just saying here. I can't help it. Alright, I think, let's see here, I think they're getting everything else just finished up and settled for the run, and then soon, guys, we'll be able to start for you all. Should be exciting. I got really close to an English world record this week and lost it. So here's hoping to maybe I'll get really lucky and we'll hit a really solid PB here for y'all live on stream. Make this a serious race. So
I've been flirting with world record in the first game, Hams Unite. I've been flirting with that world record for like 2 weeks. So it's a different game, but things have been going well, at least in my runs. And of course that means now that I'm live and at a big event, it's all going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know the saying marathon luck. Now I guess all of that we're waiting on is confirmation that we can get ready and count down. So I know Varen is over there somewhere. Varen, can you give us something?
Yep. I am ready when you are. You can give me a countdown.
All right. Okay, let's see here. I should probably. Our time starts on clicking Yep P, so I better be ready for that.
Yes.
All right.
But I'm ready.
All right. Here, do you mind if I count down then?
Go for it.
3, 2, 1. Yeppy! And then we have an unskippable cutscene.
Heck yeah.
A great way to start off the speed run with an epic display of skill. But the general storyline for everybody, this is Spat. Spat is our villain of the game, and he's just trying to mess with people's love lives. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic either. We talk to people who are friends, There's some gay hamsters later. I promise I'll point them out. And he's just a general, overall, spiteful kind of guy. And our job will be to reunite all of the hamsters, hence Hamtaro, Ham Heartbreak. I know, so creatively and cleverly named.
I just love this. Just points them out and then, bam! Just tackles them. Just
and then we
over.
yeah, and then right after that we enjoy a nice fourth wall break. Boss is gonna come in here and be like, "Hey, I hope that's not a dream that prophesizes the future or anything." And it's like, "Yeah, boss, this is a dream that definitely prophesizes the future." And then we run down, and again, how I mentioned how the games are semi-connected. In the first game, you got a bunch of ham chats, correct? If I know this correctly. And unfortunately, we just basically destroy the Ham dictionary, which has all of those things in them that we need to potentially solve puzzles and get through this game. And we only have a few that we remember, so it's time for us to relearn a few things for our ham chats, so we get to enjoy a tutorial.
And if you're not familiar with the Hamtaro universe, Ham Chat is a special language specifically made by the hamsters for the hamsters. They use short little adorable phrases and some sort of emote to go with them in order to communicate different things, even to perform different actions. Like here, hiff hiff, you can't just sniff things, you have to go hiff hiff, hiff hiff, hiff hiff.
Yes.
Just gotta make sure the sunflower seed is not poisoned or anything. Yeah, gotta check it out before you just pick them up and eat them.
Yeah, it's very important. By the way, sunflower seeds are our currency in this game. We don't actually, we have to buy a few items, but we don't actually have to pick up sunflower seeds that much, despite them being all over the place for us to potentially sniff out. We don't actually pick them up. And of course, guys, this soundtrack and sprite work for this game, when we want to talk about adorable, this is definitely it. Now welcome, at least on my stream. I can't see him while he's racing because, I mean, you know, there'd be a stream delay even if I tried to keep the stream on the side. But I just got into Sunny Peak. It's a very great place to be. And our friend Bijou, oh wait, I forgot, our friend I Love Y'all, has gotten trapped by a boulder, so we're going to save her by going out of our way to get several ham chats first. I mean, what?
Yeah, we're just gonna kind of leave her to fend for herself for a little bit.
Yeah, we can't. We gotta get a few ham chats here. We're getting Hey Who, which we use, you know, plenty of times during the speed run. There's quite a few ham chats we get that we don't use, and some that we only use in very odd situations and things like that. If I remember, I'll do my best to point them out to everybody as we get to them. And now we got Hey Who! We got our little friend over there on the mountain. He's so lonely. He doesn't get to talk to people very often because people just forget about him and don't notice him. And now we're going to, the next ham chat we get is Blue Who from Oxnard, because poor Oxnard. Him and Pepper, if you guys know the Hamtaro series really well, they're not doing really well right now. They kind of had a fight. I wonder who instigated that.
I guess you could say they're having a bit of a spat.
Yes! Yeah, if you guys were expecting to come out of this run without any puns and bad humor, you were sorely mistaken. And now, the next ham chat is Go-Go. You have to make sure to step on this here. There'll be other things that she'll yell at you to get off of later. We walk through here maybe one more time, and you gotta make sure that you don't actually step on it again, or it's a long bunch of being talked at, being called an inconsiderate lout, of all things. Quite the insults. I don't remember any other time I've ever been called an inconsiderate lout, but man, this video game cut me to the core. Then we have the Pepsi Man feather that we go by really quick, or at least I swear every time I run this, someone goes, "Is that a Pepsi Man thing, or is that Pepsi?" And I'm like, no, but I mean, yes. It is if it makes you happy. And now Arnie here, he's another hamster that we're gonna help out. He can't find his brother's potty training seats. Don't worry, we're gonna help him find it. Eventually, anyways. You know, we'll get there. We're doing things in a very specific order to go fast because we're speedrunners. And we get Paka Paka, which the only thing we use Paka Paka for is to cut some ropes. Some people get tied up in this game a couple times. Spat, I guess, is really good at tying people up. I don't know what that says about Spat, but you leave that up to you. We'll leave that up to the watchers. And as you can see, at least on my stream, we dig to leave the area because it's just technically faster to do it that way. Like, you can go right back to the beginning of the stage. And now we have a, not quite RNG, but the slightest bit. This hamster can walk a little bit closer so you don't have to go as far to talk to him. It's not really by like much, but it's like a 1 or 2 seconds, just depending on what your luck is on that particular day and moment.
And this is where we pick up my favorite ham chat in the whole game. We get put. It's a means to put. You put.
But we only get to put.
Definitely
like,
need a special word for that.
Yes, I think we only use put twice as well, like the entire game, unfortunately. Like some of the really cute and fun ones. Eventually we'll get to a haunted house, and oh boy, guys, there's like one of the best puns this game has to offer as a ham chat in the haunted house. You just gotta wait for that. That's marvelous. We even get to use that chat once, but I'll save it for when we get there for a little bit of humor. I promise. The people who made this game definitely took a few moments to throw in a good joke or two. As another fun fact, for mashing text, a lot of the times when you are talking to people and you want to have options where you click yes when you click through, you want to hold the B button so you're still going fast while clicking the A button. But you have to make sure that when you're doing that, that you're not accidentally potentially clicking A at the end, because then you open up a menu that you don't necessarily want to open up, and it takes a lot of time off of your runs if you do that over and over again. You know. There we go. I was slightly off with my put. Oh no. And now we're going to take this boat over to Bijou. Save the day. Help her out. Oh wait, I forgot. I love you. I apologize. I need to call them by the proper names. You guys paid for it. Gotta respect the awesomeness here. By the way, guys, 9,200, like over that already? We have a whole day tomorrow, but still, if we could hit, can you imagine if we hit 10K tonight? Like, well, I guess technically this is the morning of the next day now, isn't it? Can you imagine if we hit 10K today? Let's see it happen. If you guys are here, you know, late night, maybe you're part of the European LGBT community here watching with us this evening, or are you just one of those late night insomniacs? If you've got a little bit to donate, help out the cause, guys. It's for the Trevor Project. It's for something absolutely amazing that we super need in our community to help out. By the way, I'm tackling and running into this guy. These are the Hamlift Bros. At least colloquially named. They don't actually, to my knowledge, have actual names. They're not characters from the show. But we have to get a specific ham chat, as you can see here, Hamlift, which means piggyback. Another random fun fact, Mega Q, which is the one that you see Bijou using when she talks about the boulder that almost crushed her to death, is only ever used by Bijou during the speedrun, and it's never actually used in any way to advance the storyline or anything. She just randomly says it twice. Such tiny random bits of silliness. And I'm not sure about the all chats run, but you know, our run has so much to it. Now we gotta make sure too, when we come back here, we need to talk to Arnie again, because this is going to set up a trigger for us to potentially get that potty seat back that we got when we were hey-hooing near the water and everything that he had stuck on his head. Seymour ends up deciding to wear a children's training seat on his head for some reason, because he thinks it's funny. Not creepy, just, you know, just funny. Just funny. I worry about you, Seymour, but I mean, it's your life choices of headwear, and I guess I can't judge you too much. It was cleaned by the water, I guess. Now we're going to get Oopsie. We never use Oopsie, at least for the run. Sorry. And right after this, we're going to get another ham chat called Gossipy, and we also don't use that one during the run, unless Mike has been hiding some hidden strats that I've never heard about.
Yeah, right now my hidden strats are not picking the right ham chats right now.
Hey, don't worry. There's going to be a part where we play this game called the Sticky Game. And that can, if it's just a little bit of bad RNG, we'll probably decide who is ahead or behind during the run. So that's a fun section. It's one of the only parts where RNG can just kind of hurt. Like, no matter what, you can get the points you need, but sometimes it's just basically impossible without perfect play, you know, and it's just not going to happen. But we'll get there. We get to go to a theme park at one point, and it's very fun. And there we go, guys. Oxnard and Pepper back together. And they're never going down at the hands of the likes of Spat because they're so much better. I'm sorry. Gosh. See, if anyone is in an LGBT chat and is not a fan of Steven Universe and catch that reference, I'm so sorry. Now poor Spat knocks us over. No matter really what we do, Spat just kind of... He like knocks the crud out of Hamtaro quite a few times, and then Hamtaro gets a kiss. We get a nice little kiss of Smoochie. So romantic. Those two are a cute couple. I'll ship it. Mostly because...
I don't think he loves her. I really don't think this is a... I don't think he reciprocates his feelings.
In the show, from what I get, at least from what I remember, I've not seen every episode, so you all can tell me if I'm wrong in the chat and completely lambast me here. But I think it's pretty much Bijou ends up hardcore crushing Hamtaro, but Hamtaro is pretty neutral about it.
Yeah,
no, like, doesn't like hate her or anything, just
neutral.
like, I don't know if I want this. Now we're gonna meet Harmony, guys. This is our, she's the one who's helping us out. She's the kind of opposite of Spat. She's a very positive person, and at least in my headcanon, Spat tried to ask Harmony out. She said no, and that's why Spat's being a jerk. That's why I figure she showed up at just the right time. She's like, man, I know him so well. I figure he's gonna be a jerk to a ton of hamsters for some reason.
Yeah, but on that same note, look at Boss's face in this scene. Boss has a huge crush on her. Like, look at his face as she walks away. Like,
Oh.
his face is just stuck that way.
Oh, heck yeah. He's just like, whoa.
Definitely.
He really likes his hamsters with really fine white fur, because I mean at the beginning of the series in the show, as we all know, he is crazy in love with Bijou. So like, Boss has got a type. We know this, at least for sure. Now, this is part of why we got. I mean, for one, we have to get Hamlift to advance the storyline, but we also Hamlift right here to the sunflower. We get 20 sunflower seeds, and now we have enough seeds for the rest of the run. That's it. As long as we don't make any mistakes, and as I mentioned earlier, you guys can even see them. They're just littered all over the place. If we really did make a really bad mistake, there's plenty of places to pick up another set of sunflower seeds if we are really desperate. It's not, you know, it's not the end of the world by any means.
You might not have caught it in time watching my stream, but the positioning for some of these game chats can be very, very specific. I was somehow actually too far into the corner for that sunflower and could not handlift to the sunflower.
Yes, it's really common in this game.
Picky.
Some of them can be very annoying too, because you can be on just doing like, I'm right on top of this thing, and it just doesn't happen. It's very picky about it. It wants you to be doing it quite perfectly.
Yeah, hitboxes in this game, like it's funny to think about hitboxes in this type of game, but hitboxes are a joke in this game. Like that one in particular is very frustrating because you can't just like hold right and go all the way in the corner because there are a couple of pixels there that are no good.
Yeah, and so you
even
have
though
to...
it's like in the corner against the wall, it's not really.
On my side of things, we're about to try to see how well we can do to open Sesame with minimal movement. As you can see, for some of these ham chats, Bijou has to move to follow you. So if you're really careful with your placement, you can make things go faster, and if she's really far away, she walks really slow to get in position. So it's a minor strat in this game to save you a few seconds here and there. And this is also funny, Bijou's like, hey, this is a great place to get lost, and immediately gets lost.
Of course.
Yes, instantaneously. The game is just like, we definitely should show off getting lost really quick. And now we have Arnie's little brother, because unfortunately, he got separated from Arnie, big brother Arnie there. And now we're going to have to buy some stuff to make him happy. And the salesman ham mentions how there is a rattle which helps make little kids happy. So to make him happy, we're going to buy bananas. Because I'm not going to listen to that shopkeep. He can't tell me what to do.
He's a cheat anyway. Like, what is his name?
I don't
know, but in every game, he's a total cheat.
He really does try to cheat us out of our money. Don't worry, we get a specific ham chat in this game to make him pony up stuff for a little bit cheaper later.
Battery.
But as you guys can see, we got that banana peel so that I could slip on it and cheer up Arnie's brother. Instead of using the item that's supposed to actually just make him happy, yeah, we go that route because it makes way more sense.
Yeah, if you get the rattle, I think he gets even more upset because you're treating him like a baby.
Yeah, which is Which is amusing because, I mean, if you're playing this game casually, I mean, you've only got so many sunflower seeds at this point, and you're just like, are you serious?
Then if you buy the tier source, that just makes things worse because that just makes people cry. But it's good for a laugh. Alright.
Cute little moment. We're gonna come over here to help Arnie's little brother, and Arnie, who was earlier commenting on how cute Bijou is, thinks he's home alone with her and is blushing his face off. I think he's like for a short moment just completely forgot his brother was missing, and was just like, oh, I'm alone now. Oh yeah, my brother's there. Dang it. Drats, foiled again. Arnie's a good guy, though. You can tell that if he was just hoping to have at least a minute or so of alone time with Bijou, it doesn't faze him. It's more important that his brother's okay. Brotherly love, guys. As I said, this game isn't all about romance. So there's lots of different kinds of love shown off that we fix, and I love that.
I do want to point out, though, Hamtaro is not at all bothered that there's some guy hitting on his air quote girlfriend on air quote.
Yeah,
He's
right?
completely unfazed by this.
That's the thing that's like particular. Like I said, it always seems like for him, he's just kind of like, okay, hi Bijou. Maybe Hamtaro is ace or aromantic. Who knows? I really doubt that that's confirmed canon anywhere. But if it is, guys, there's a chance to tell us in the chat room. I'm sure someone will. Sure, I'll be able to watch this after and be able to notice. It would be an interesting minor little plot twist all these years later to learn. I was watching Hamtaro all these years and I just didn't realize. Now I'm running into Spat here, who is being a jerk to one of the Hamlet bros. So we're going to show him that we're friends, and that's going to freak him out. He is not very happy about it. And if we show him that we're really friendly twice, he falls off a bridge! I'm not saying all of the things in this game make sense when it comes to the storyline, but knocking someone off a bridge by being friendly is definitely among the more curious things that we do in this game. It's not the only time he'll be knocked into something, but we'll see that later. I'm gonna walk really slowly because I don't want to freak him out. Because he'll stop and do a bunch of text, which takes a couple seconds.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice time loss right there.
Yeah, it sucks. At first, when I first started running this, I thought he flew faster afterwards, so I kept trying to get it on purpose. Thank everything Immers, who is the world record holder for this, set me straight. Now for some good punnery, guys. We get we get Liberty, and as you can see with the costume, it's a nice little Statue of Liberty joke. There are a couple of these ham chats that are different in Japanese. This is not one of them, I think, but a couple of them, there are some puns that did not translate to English, so we got slightly different versions. Nothing like crazy. We're going to be hitting Sandy Bay here in a little bit, and we get one of them that looks very different if you're playing in the Japanese version. Oh no! That is when you're learning this game, it can be a little bit of torture trying to make sure you get the right ham chats, which is why we're running in English currently. I mean, I have not gotten close to getting like a world record run by any means, guys. I do my best in English. When you learn this game in Japanese, unless of course you know Japanese, in which case, I mean, please start running Japanese games. You have a leg up on everybody. But
What is? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, but for us, we're doing this in English because otherwise you have to memorize where every single ham chat is, and it's already hard enough to do it when you can see them on screen.
What is nice is usually, for a lot of these ones where you have to pick ham chat that's not one of the basic four, it tends to be the bottom one. And if it's not the bottom one, it's like the second to bottom one. So that's helpful a little bit. And even between English and Japanese, even though the language obviously changes, the position of the correct answer does not change.
Which is
but
wonderful.
What is also frustrating is that the menu doesn't loop. So it's the bottom option, but you can't just go up A. You have to go down 5 times and then hit A.
Yeah, so if you accidentally go too far, you can take something that is like up to, like if you do dig dig and miss or do dig dig at the wrong time, it's like 3 to 5 seconds or so just sitting there like, yeah. Why did I do this? Questioning all your life choices. I decided to run Hamtaro M Heartbreak. What's wrong with me? Okay, no, this is actually a really fun game. If you guys are watching this, and you're one of those people who is like, man, I've always wanted to speedrun. Maybe I should like speedrun a game. If you want to start off with a game that's relatively not too complex, perfect choice.
Yeah,
Just learning your
definitely a
route,
good
getting
one.
through it, excellent first game choice. And it's, I mean, I know a lot of people suggest for like first games, you should do incredibly short games. So if that's what you want to do, go ahead. As you guys can see by our estimate here, 140 to 130 is what you're going to be expecting. Why am I doing that? I do that later! Oh no! That's okay though, that's not much of a time loss for me just pulling up one extra menu in accident. Could be a lot worse. A lot worse. This is a really interesting puzzle that we solve while we are going through the level.
Yes.
You can solve it afterwards if you want to, but it's honestly just a little bit faster to get it done while we're at it. We're already here, you know, we're already doing everything. No point missing out. Now we come back to talk to these little friends here too on the top of the screen. And as we're talking to them, we have to first do Lookie. Lookie sets up a cutscene down there so we can actually find Seymour's girlfriend. And then we need to do Ham Ha to get Tingly, because we need Tingly to get ourselves a pineapple. If that makes no sense to you, don't worry, it will in just a second. Such an odd choice. We get Tingly, which means tingle. I'll let you read into that what these hamsters are feeling when they look at those hunk soccer hams, which we get to see later, but we're gonna hif the pineapple here, and they're like, oh my gosh, maybe if you make me happy, so we tell her that she makes us feel tingly. And that's enough to make her want to give us a pineapple, apparently.
If I pick Dig Dig in this menu one more time,
Dig Dig is rough just
throw a
because
controller out the window.
Because of all the, and for anyone watching, for all the ones that you can mess up on, Dig Dig is the longest animation, basically. So it's a little bit torture to accidentally get. Now, unfortunately, I'm talking to the wife of the husband who completely blancoed on their wedding anniversary. That's no good. You don't want that. By the way, guys, we get to see a traditional hamster wedding in this game. Although the games, again, are not exactly show canon. It's an interesting thing to get to see, essentially. And now we're going to... Oh, my tack, you missed. See, they're very specific on their things, trying to make it happen. But we have to tack you this guy to get Bizarro. And we use Bizarro a total of 1 time during the speed run at all. That's it. Just the one. So, you know. But we have to take our time to quickly get it. Now we're going to be, yet again, we're solving this rock puzzle. While we're close to the rocks. We could do it after, but I mean, we're already here, so... This is the part I always get nervous on, because if you mess it up, you gotta go redo that whole puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
And it is torture. The first time I did this run, I had a guide, and I was trying to go through it, and I just could not get it for the life of me. The next time I ran it, my PB, I like probably saved somewhere near 20 minutes on my PB on just this section alone. And if you do it right, we hear some music play, and then the entire ground shakes. That's how you know that you've solved a hidden puzzle on the beach. And as you can see now, our surfing friend has moved, and he has done that because we have did that Lookie earlier that I mentioned. There's a lot of times in this game where to make certain puzzles be able to work and to progress in the game, you need to make sure to do certain, sometimes incredibly small actions. In a minute here, you're going to see a bottle with a note in it show up as she's stuck in the ocean. Eventually, we have to pick up that bottle. At first, when I was running this, I thought, hey, do you really need to pick up that bottle? And I decided to test it one time. Yep, and no, you have to pick it up or you are not able to do a certain ham chat later, which advances the storyline. So even if you've solved the puzzle and you're awesome, the game does not reward you for your pre-knowledge. They're like, oh, so you're speedrunners, huh? Take a couple seconds to sniff a bottle. Which is a weird sentence to say, now that you think about it. But as we learned... I suppose as I learned with when we had Scott on commentary for Night in the Woods, sometimes they really do think about speedrunners when they're making games, so it's not impossible they didn't say that.
I like this whole moment with Stat and Barrett, because he just shoves her out there like 2 feet from the shore, and then he just leaves. Like he's evil, but he's so simplistically evil. Like, there's nothing to this plot. He just shoves her into the water and leaves. Like, that's all there is to it.
Yeah, just like, haha, poor Seymour.
Yeah, haha, screw you. He
And,
just takes off on his little raft.
And mentioning here too, Fuss Fuss is one of those few things. If you play it in Japanese, they have pineapple suits on out of nowhere when they do Fuss Fuss. Again, no idea if there's a pun there or not. If anyone in the chat happens to know Japanese and know why fussing and pineapple somehow go together, please let me know. I'd actually be crazy curious. And then we have to stop in here and grab a marble really quick. It's just best to get it now while we're here. We're right in that area. And we'll head back to the...
Speaking of which, I skipped the marble. I'll get it on the way back. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, as long as you get it at some point. There will be other times when you're in that general region, so it's not the end of the world by any means. You just want to make sure that you don't completely forget it, or else you have to come back later, and that's a big walk. Like, actually coming all the way back to the island in this whole area when you're not there and you're not trying to be, that's a pain in the butt.
Oh, I just realized. I gotta get this later. Wait, am I getting it now?
I am unsure.
I did something. Oh, no, we got it. I did things in a slightly different order, but I'm still getting fuss.
Okay, I was concerned. I was worried for you. I'm like,
yeah, I was like,
you don't get fuss at all. I didn't know there was a way to.
I gotta get it at some point, but
I think there are ways.
I know if you ask these guys to help you, because you need somebody who can swim, they just flat out tell you, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, if you do it after you end up saving them, you can still get fuss, but the entire conversation that you have with them is a lot longer. So we like to do it, you know, the fast way and get them while they're doing this fun little bit of swimming, and there's not a ton of extra junk to have to skip through, thankfully. And now we see they're super in love. Fendi, I will defend you. The ham chats are incredibly adorable. They're one of the little ways that this game adds that hamstery cuteness and charm to the game. And they tell us, hey, if you guys want to take pictures, come to the photo studio. We're never going to go to the photo studio. We're speedrunners. It's not going to happen. I mean, we technically enter there earlier, but we don't take pictures. And as you guys can see, this general level in general with the music, they're trying to parody like Wipeout a little bit. Like they're trying to get close while still being distinct. You know, don't wanna be like some Dragon Ball Z games that had some of their music questioned about if it was completely stealing. So they decided to just really play it careful here. And look, guys, the captain is on a hidden island. Whoa. And before we can even tell them about the fussing or anything, we have to make sure to say hello first, because, you know, it's manners. Then after that, we can fuss. But that's why we got the bottle. If you don't get the bottle, it will not allow you to fuss. And it's a pain in the butt. And then you have to just go, crud, I should have gotten that bottle earlier. Oops. No way for you to know that. But, I mean, if you see a bottle in a cutscene, you usually figure it's important. So I gotta give the programming team credit here that they made it really obvious, except to speedrunners who wanted to save time.
Exactly.
And we're like, you know, I could probably just skip through that. It's not important, right? Time for us to be on a boat, guys. We're on a boat.
Boat.
Yeah, we're on a boat. Everybody, look at us. We're standing on a boat. I warned you all. The jokes are gonna be, at least on my end. I mean, Mike might have some better stuff, but not my jokes. They're bad. Although if you love this kind of punny silliness, my stream, definitely be there, because they're usually worse on stream. I'm trying to behave myself. This is a marathon. I don't want to scare you all away during the late night block with my puns. We get to have a little fun here, too, because we're all of a sudden, if you know the show, seeing Pashmina and Penelope fight is like, what? They don't fight. What the heck? And then we walk over here, and somehow Penelope has magically teleported. And it's like, what? How? So we're going to solve this mystery and help out everyone over here and avoid doing a hula contest. I mean, as much as the hula is really fun and cute, yeah, we're not going to do a hula contest. We have speedruns to do. I remember the first guide I ever looked up for this game. It said in very bold letters, do not do the hula contest.
It is a very long and tedious process to be able to clear. I think there are 3 different stages of competition. The first 2 are pretty easy to beat. The third one, the judges are absolutely ruthless.
Yeah, so it's not something that you want to start an accident, or else you'll be stuck there for a very long time. Now, as we're talking to this blue hamster, you notice there's this gray hamster who's just trying to walk into us. His walk cycle, I don't know if it's entirely at random or if it is a fixed thing, but there's going to be some times in the game where he maybe kind of gets in our way a tiny bit and you have to worry about running around him. But right there, I guess he was just content to run straight at us repeatedly and do nothing else. Ham? By the way, you guys are going to probably, I don't know about Mike, but I always end up saying half of the ham chats that we use because they're fun. Half the fun of running a Hamtaro game is learning a new language, everybody. So now, we don't think this is really Pashmina, and I mean, we have very good reason not to. So you know what, we're just going to tackle her really quick. And then we're going to poke her with a stick. Sticky is one of those ham chats that we got to keep, as well as Scritty, although we only ever use Scritty just now. At least during the speed run. I need to check out that all ham chats run someday and learn where we use the other chats.
Oh, I'm doing this at the wrong time. That's for sure.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Tuggy.
Ah, trying to get an early.
I've just skipped ahead like 2 splits. It's cool.
See, this is gonna be really interesting because you guys get to see us semi-running. I mean, we're doing the same things just in different orders. I didn't know you could actually get Tuggy early.
Oh, you can't. that is why I am quite upset with myself.
Oh, I was a little worried there. I was about to see, like, dang, that's actually kind of neat. Because I was gonna say that'd be something.
That'd be a huge time save if you could get it now.
Oh heck yeah!
Oh my gosh! Please, Hamtaro, run! Thank you.
Yes, as you can see here, we're gonna be talking to this old man to get a story about tuggying, and how someone tuggied on something that, like, 2 people wanted one thing, they tuggied on it, and in the end, the real person who it belonged to ended up getting it. If you guys may recognize, that's kind of a certain parable. Stolen to make an interesting little thing for the game. So, I mean, you gotta take your inspirations where you can as a game designer. And believe me, this game has some great, cute little references here and there and stuff. So, like, they put a little heart and soul into this game when they made it. They wanted to put a little bit of their flair in the developers, and I highly appreciate that. We're gonna come up here, we're gonna climb. Climb me. And then we're gonna tell them to tuggy! And then we'll watch a nice tugging contest. And of course, the real Pashmina will not be willing to actually hurt Penelope, so she will stop tugging. And then of course we know, hey, she's the real Penelope because she's actually really nice. Heck, or the real Pashmina. Well, the real Pashmina, please stand up. Thankfully, Spat decides to reveal himself next to some unstable railing. And as I mentioned, he falls down randomly off of things quite a few times in this game. This time he's luckily just taken away by a fish. Could be a lot worse. I mean, he's a hamster in the ocean, so he's really lucky when you think about it. Incredibly so. By the way, guys, if you, for anyone who's hanging around, and I know we have some donations or anything like that, if any of those pop up, let us know. There's plenty of times where I'm just talking about ham chats and being silly that we could definitely show off stuff. And hey, if you guys are here, there are still things like potentially, I think there's naming the characters in Earthbound. I believe that we
Final Fantasy IV Bid Wars 2.
Ooh, that's good there. And another Earthbound, reading the Trevor letter, right?
Tony letter, and that
Tony.
has been met.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great. I'm thinking Trevor Project. No wonder. No wonder I said Trevor. I'm like, at the moment I said that, I'm like, that's not right, man. What did you do? What a silly crap.
Currently, though, we do have a bid war coming up in a few hours, whether to spare or kill the character Whisper in Fable the Lost Chapters.
Ooh. Well, guys, if you would like to do some sparing, or oh wait, who's in the lead right now? Are we talking about are we looking at sparing them, or are they going to be recklessly?
Currently, Kill is in the lead.
Ooh, if you're feeling particularly merciful, get to something on that bid war, guys. Will you still have the chance?
Also, I have a $20 donation here from one Xandra who says, "Hey, hi, night folks. This mouse thanks you for keeping the marathon running and for sharing adorable rodents with everyone. Keep on being wonderful. Less than 3.
Oh, that is wonderful. I am so happy to hear that people are having a good time. Like, thank you guys so much for coming out for the late night shift. Again, I know some of you are probably Europeans and this isn't like torture for you. But for anyone who's like, you know, coming in from the States and just wants to support us really hard and do this, this is really cool to me. So thank you guys so much for coming in. You always gotta appreciate the night shift and the people who come to watch it. Or maybe you Australians.
Definitely.
I do know that some Australians sometimes come out. Do you have any Aussies in the chat? Here we go. I can't quite see chat to interact with it, but I'm gonna try anyway. Do we have any Aussies in the chat? If so, I don't know. Spam an emote of some kind together. You're all Aussies. You guys have some. You have some mind like sync. You guys can make this work. You know which one.
They have their own secret language.
Yes. I mean,
Just
they
like
kind of
hamsters.
do. I dated an Australian once. He was a great guy. Man, that accent and Aussie words. They're just wonderful. I was learning a whole new thing. Speaking of Australians on a completely wonderful side tangent for some reason. If you've never eaten Tim Tams in your life, go eat a Tim Tam. They are amazing.
Tam Tams are delicious.
Yes, if you've never had the joy of eating a Tim Tam, you're missing out on just life itself. Now we're going to come up here in my thing. We're going to want to get past chat. Now we could get past chat later and it not be a problem, but if you wait too long to remember to get past chat, you have to get 2 second ham chats at the same time, which is a pain in the butt. And past chat we have to have at the very end of the game. So if you're like, by the end of the game, go, crap, I need to get that, you're going to be getting a ton of extra ham chats. And it's a very big time loss that's just not necessary. And now, guys, we welcome you to the Hamster Amusement Park. And now, hopefully, yes, I can talk to the robot to get them going. That's a small time save, because it means less slow walking with Bijou if you just walk straight up and try to talk to the robot instead of the person. Doesn't affect the story in any way, but you know, we like to go fast. Speedrunners. Also, I feel really bad. You guys can see on Mike's. I didn't mention it when we were getting it. We get a love letter that they really want us to deliver, and then we never
it's a very
deliver it.
important love letter.
Yeah, and we just never ever deliver it, and it's kind of sad. Who knows if that cute little ham girl and those hamster like buff guys on the beach could have gotten together. Also, I'm thinking of the
there are a couple of
trash.
parts that we leave broken in any percent.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. But, oh no, I finally did it, a menu mess up. I'm talking to a hamster Power Ranger right now. Literally, you can actually watch a hamster Power Ranger show, but we're 80%ing, so we don't have the time. Sorry, guys. I know that people love the Power Rangers. Ooh, the Tim Tam Slam is powerful, I hear, by the way. It is. It is very powerful. Gotta love me a Tim Tam Slam. Now that we've gotten Blash Tea, which we use later, this is the part of the run where, I mean, I know that right now Mike is a little behind, but this is the part of the run where Mike could easily catch up as I lose several minutes of time. This is what I was mentioning earlier. This game can be very brutal to you. They drop white, blue, and pink. Trans Pride, everybody! Spam that one in the chat. But they drop these sticky notes, and the blue ones are worth 30 points. The pink ones are worth 50, and the white are only worth 10. You can't just ignore the white ones, though, because, just the RNG for which ones you get. Okay, right now I'm actually getting really... Oh, and if you miss, yeah, you're just stuck sitting there. I was about to say, I'm getting really good RNG, and then I totally miss.
Missing in that minigame is brutal.
Yeah, it's very hard. And we have to try to get 600 points, and if we don't, we're stuck going through this all over again. So part of it is also, again, if they drop the colored pages for you, I'm actually gonna get the timer for marathon safety, which is 10 extra seconds, which sucks, but you know, I'm not doing the best right now, so I figure it's worth it. Wow, I'm really doing bad right now. Oh my gosh, I'm doing so bad. Okay, let's. Oh gosh. I don't have many seconds left. Thankfully, they're dropping lots of ones with pretty colors. Okay, I think if I get these 2 pinks, we'll be alright. Oh no! I missed it. Okay, let's get that white one and one more pink. And see, okay, we don't want to go too far past 600 points. Or else they'll give you a rock instead of a marble too, which is awful. But that's part of why I wanted to do that. It's just being marathon safe. Normally I wouldn't, but I don't think I actually would have made it had I not been marathon safe, so... let's be grateful the timer was in just the right spot to actually pull that off too, because it's a little bit of luck. Now we're gonna see what Spat's up to here. This is where we see that Spat has been messing with all of the rides. For some reason we can't get on the rides.
Oh, there was a one.
It's very sad that we don't get to get on the rides. Don't worry though, they'll be fixed. If you guys, I will say this, the sprite work for riding the rides is incredible, and it is unfortunate we don't get to see it during the speedrun. Like, they put some heart and soul into making
really
that
did,
amazing.
and it's not just it's not just this game. The entire Hamtaro series of video games has some incredible sprite work for it. Like they're all kind of simple. Oh my god, I'm just gonna have that kind of mini game.
Yep. See, as I mentioned before, sometimes it's just bad luck, and there's nothing you can do about it, and it sucks. You either just can't quite hit the notes, or you just, and when you miss, you know, there's no color. They're not putting in enough of the pink and the blues, so there's just no way to get the points without being perfect. Oops, accidentally no peed instead of yeppy. That's bad. Got a yeppy, guys. But yeah, it is kind of fun. I've been thinking about that a whole bunch, that we get to, oh no, he's not there yet, darn it. I did a little walking I didn't need to do yet either. We're gonna get a ham chat here in a minute called Chuck Chuck, which we used one time to throw garbage on Spat. But to be honest, he kinda had it coming. There we go. Did you make your paper game?
I did make a paper game.
Oh, wonderful. I know having to go through that all over again is just like really rough. I'm getting Chuck Chuck here from this random green ham. And he's, you know, going to tell us about how he's just so frustrated that he can't ride the ride. Poor thing. I didn't know that not riding rides could get you that grumpy, but I mean, they can. I suppose. Give up, which is very interesting because we end up using it to throw. Not, give up, throw, I mean, you know, localization and trying to get as close as possible. They did a very solid job here. Unfortunately, we're going to learn something about our robot. He's not really built for defense. He's built to clean things. So he only really knows how to scrubby. So Spat's just like, aw yeah, kicked your butt. And we're going to prove him wrong here in just a second. This is why we were digging for trash earlier. It's so that we were ready to throw it on him. You know, you just gotta be ready whenever to throw trash on people. And then we tell the robot to scrubby, and then the robot seems to have enough emotion to get the idea of what he needs to do. And yeah, Spat's gonna go away, guys. Definitely gonna get Spat really good here. Literally rocket him out of the area. And I love the dropped jaws. They're all just sitting there like, absolutely the most adorable sprite work. Every time people see these games run, I'm always told how cute it is. We also get Tip Top, which unfortunately we don't use Tip Top during the speedrun, even though that is yet again a really cute thing. I'm named after a flower, so I'm partial to them. So I mean, ham chat with a flower, and I never even get to touch it. The sadness. In a minute here too, as you can see, a love between a hamster and his robot. You know, love without boundaries in Hamtaro, guys. One of those very neat things. And it's actually really funny because they mentioned that his heart wasn't originally broken, that his love was just forged. Like, just there, their love just got really intense and awesome. So I always find that very neat. We bring those two together. Who knows where they would have been without us. And now for the really awesome fourth wall break in just a second. It's quite amusing. We get Ham Team here, which we need for a little bit later in the run. You definitely don't want to forget to get Ham Team because it's a big walk back. But they're going to ask us for help. And we're going to say no because we're speedrunners and we don't have time for this. And they're going to say, wow, I mean, you'd think that if you had your own video game, you'd have enough time to help somebody. Which is just amusing as heck. They really just want to give us a good giggle. And now, guys, we are going to head to Boo Manor. I mentioned there was a haunted house earlier and a really awesome pun that's going to be made with one of the ham chats. I'm very excited to show it off. Right there. It's very spoopy. As you can see, Spat is of course up to no good because this is a haunted house for couples. Gotta be a couple to get in, but Spat's a jerk and just shoves him out of the way, because I mean, you guys have seen Spat. He's been, like, leaving people abandoned in the ocean. Like, you're not going to tell him no, unfortunately, if he comes at you. There's no way. And as we mentioned earlier, the ham chats like to be really, really specific. Being able to ta-da him instead of just getting all the normal ham chats, that is one of my most messed up ham chats I have ever done, literally, like, ever. Oh! What happened? Did I need to click? I think I needed to click Ham Ha first. Oops. Or no, we didn't talk to him. What's happening? Come on, you gotta work with me here. Come on, Spoopy Ham. There we go. I need an ID. Heck. Couple seconds lost. It happens. It's okay. We're in a marathon, guys. I mean, I could get a PB if we had the luckiest day ever, even though I've taken an extra 10 seconds somewhere, but we'll see what happens. We get a flyer, and they're telling us that there's an ID card for sale. Whoa, we need one of those. How convenient. Oh no, not you again. And we're really lucky here. He's got the ID card for 50 sunflower seeds. Yeah, we're not taking any of that. Our red Power Ranger ham taught us how to blash tea and get him to haggle the price down to something a lot more reasonable. And now he'll sell it to us for 5 sunflower seeds, and we think that's a good price. That's enough that we have to make one more purchase at the end, nearer to the end of the game. And we need to have just enough sunflower seeds left for that. So that's just low enough that we can actually afford to buy it without taking a ton of extra time. Okay, dig, back down this pipe, and now we get to explore the haunted house. And there's definitely some seriously spoopy stuff in here, guys. You better be ready. It's pretty intense. If you are easily spooked, I highly recommend that you grab whichever plushie you like to cuddle, and don't lie to me, you all have one. And make sure you keep them close so that you're not horrifyingly scared. Now, we scared this old hamster so bad he almost basically has a heart attack. So you know that's always a good start to your haunted house experience. Literally killing someone and making them into a ghost. That's a good time. But he gives us Thumb P, which we need very badly to get a very important, and as I mentioned, one of the best puns in the game for ham chats here in just a second. Now that we've done all this, we get the bronze card, which we will need in a little bit, but before we get to the bronze card, we're going to have to find another couple that unfortunately we see is in trouble, but we never really get to help them out either, because we're speedrunners, and we unfortunately have to miss out on that. But we see these two hams kind of fighting, and it's very unfortunate. So we go up to the blue ham, and we thump P, and we scare the crap out of him. And then he tells us, "Oh no, you almost made us had to go pee." And then we get go pee. And I see in the chat, does your boyfriend count as a plushie to cuddle? Yes, he does. If you're sitting here watching this with your loved one or whatever else, or hey, if you're Aero or Ace and you don't have a loved one, whoever it is you're snuggling, even if you're snuggling yourself, just give yourself a quick hug. Practice self-care. But yes, we get Go P, and as I mentioned earlier, we get to use Go P to actually solve a puzzle. Now, I mean, we're speedrunners, so
this is not the first time in this series that Go P is very important, especially in the speedrun. For Hamtaro Ham Hams Unite, there's a crow that steals Pashmina's scarf and refuses to give it back. And you have to make a funny face at him so that he just literally laughs so hard he drops the scarf. And after it's like, hey, you hamsters are pretty cute. What's the hamster word for friend? And it doesn't matter what you pick, but if you're just mashing A like a speedrunner, the default option is Go P. So somewhere out there in the universe is a bird who's anytime he wants to say a hamster's his friend is going to pee on said hamster.
By the way, guys, it's a fun friendship tip. Trying to pee on people to call them your friends is not a good idea. Pro tips from LiteralGrill. Okay, this could be a pain in the butt too, because we have to sticky them very quickly. Yeah, and this is starting to be just really cruel and move them just far enough out of the way that I can't get to them very quickly. There we go, sticky. I think I'm gonna get this one. Sometimes you miss the first or second. It's just luck. If they decide to put themselves really far away, or like this, and they put themselves right in front of you. And for the last one, we want them to hopefully be on the square that I was on, or at least in the direction they are. Wow, they're being really kind to me today. This puts us closer to a board that we need to get out of the room. So he gives us a silver key card, and it's just nice if he's over here. The closer to the bottom, the better. But I mean, you know, You can't complain when the speed. They decided to be a little kind to me after that RNG just made, so there was no way I could sticky him in time. We sniff this board to make sure it's not poison or going to kill us. Take about 1 step forward, and then we put it down. You know, I mean, these hamsters are all about safety. As you can see, though, unfortunately, that couple that kind of got broke up, they were onto something. There's definitely something behind that door, but unfortunately, we never saved them. They're always going to be sad. It's a very unfortunate moment. But we're going to leave them there, and we're going to hammer up to go to the next floor. Did you get a good sticky?
I got a bad sticky.
Oh, no. See, sticky, that's a pretty hard section, and it's a little bit of RNG where sometimes you're just doomed to lose some time. There's almost no way that you can guarantee yourself to always hit the first one. Because even if you're standing in the middle, sometimes it's just a really giant pain in the butt. Now we're going to go talk to these two. If you guys know the show, these two are always constantly arguing because they want to win Peshmina's heart. And I'm sorry, what did you say, hon?
I'm trying to figure out why Hamtaro does not want to sniff this silver card.
Oh, I mean, it's a silver card.
I'm having like basic gaming issues. I'm not even having like speedrun issues. I'm just having just general menuing issues.
It happens, I mean, if you guys are speedrunners and you've never ran in a marathon, submit to Winter Pride. At a minimum, like, there's so many online marathons, but of course I'm going to say submit to Winter Pride because the events and the staff here who are running this, I'm not just saying this because they picked my run, I mean, seriously, out of all the marathons that I have worked for and done with for online events, Hard Up with Pride has absolutely been the best so far. So, shout outs to all of the staff. I'm not trying to suck up, I'm just being dead serious. You guys are all amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite events to get involved with as well. The crew and staff here are fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean,
they're always very, very encouraging to the runners, to everybody who's participating. It's definitely a good group of people to be working with.
No kidding. And when you get there and you submit that run and watch yourself flub, like, I mean, even in my Night in the Woods run, I had a dev there, so you know, I was a little nervous. I flubbed. I admit it. I flubbed some jumps and messed up, but it happens. Even when you're a really good speedrunner and you're like on point, there's gonna be that one jump that just screws you up or whatever else. It happens. You know. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't get our absolute perfection runs for your marathons. And there goes Hamtaro down a hole. Because for some reason he's like, you know, and I'm not gonna mention that there's a giant trap door here as you run into the room. Come on, man, come on. Don't worry though, Biju's gonna go out of her way to save Hamtaro. You guys may have noticed me earlier, I went and got a chat called No Pookie. Now we're gonna come back here, and now that Biju is alone, these old guys are gonna be way more willing to talk for some reason.
Yeah.
These old ghosts really, there's a lot of people who find Biju cute. She's got like no problem finding herself somebody to like be with. Let me tell ya. So we try to tackle them both, cause talking to them, you know, that won't help. But if we try to bodily harm a ghost that we go through, that'll get us the chats we need, which includes Knock Knock and Pushy. It's going to allow us to find a secret door and continue on our speed. If you Pushy on my back, I don't think I can Pushy on your back to give you a massage. You are literally a ghost. Gonna go down, and as I said, we're gonna walk across the side. By the way, if you notice that it's a super Scooby-Doo reference, the painting, actually the eyes do follow you when you walk back and forth, just like, you know, classic Scooby-Doo stuff. The end of this level also has a really cute reference to Charlie Brown that I will explain later. That's very fun. Lots of little things here. Now he's been sitting here too, and he isn't our steamed ham over there hasn't been saying anything, did he? Like, he fell on his back, he's just been twitching this whole time. Oh yeah, I never checked on them, whoops. Like, dude, come on. Please make sure Hamtaro is not dead. Man, these hamsters get really lucky. Almost get crushed by a giant boulder, fall down a trap door, and don't get severely injured. This haunted house is just asking for a lawsuit. But now, guys, for the fun part. Now, there's only so many sprites for the hamsters in this game, and only guy hamsters have the sprite you're about to see, this really big, muscly sprite. And this is where we get to enjoy our green and pink gay, muscly hamsters who will come and save the day. Hamtaro games, guys, they're ahead of their time with their LGBT representation. Because, I mean, there's a lot of these characters who talk like they're loved, you're cherished. And maybe that's not necessarily romantic, but believe me, when they, like, bust them out of this cage, it is romantic as heck. Like, these are two happy,
it really
big...
is.
Yeah, these are just two big, happy, gay, muscly hamsters, and they're like, we love each other. And I can't blame them. I mean, if you can bend steel bars, call me, and I'd like to go on a date with you just to see you do it. Like, that's just like, whoa, what? For a human, let alone a hamster. If you are a hamster and you're watching this chat right now and are capable of speech, please hit me up also because... I mean, come on. As you can see, the green hamster just super muscles it out and it's just grrr. And oh man, we reunite. Hamtaro and Bijou are back together. Steamed and I love y'all. And you guys can see he's like sniffling. He is so in love with him. He like gives him this kiss. And he's just like, oh. So yeah, guys. The Hamtaro game creators were not afraid to put in gay hamsters. And this game came out in 2002. We keep making little strides, guys, here and there. We'll get there someday. Show off that pride. Don't be afraid to be who you are. And hey, we just got the ham chat flip-flop. Maybe you'll flip-flop some people's minds, you know. You know, you'll always be surprised if you could change the mind up. I mean, truthfully, when I started my transition personally, I had a very religious grandparent who didn't really get things, and now she's incredibly like on board, proper pronouns. You never know whose minds you're gonna change. And I mean, you never know which game creator will throw in some gay hamsters for you too. So, you gotta go for these things. Time for another very fun game, the Scrubby Contest. Scrubby Contest isn't scary at all. It's super scary. It's not too hard, but if we do it correctly, we can do this in essentially 2 cycles. And I'm gonna go for the 2 cycles because I've like never messed it up before. A large part of it is getting Bijou to the correct spot right away to save time on that first Scrubby that we just did. Because otherwise she does this slow walk, as you guys can see, to get in proper Scrubby position. Now we're going to pushy these crates. And the last one is going to be like last second, like we just barely do make it. But we did it, guys, and now we'll be able to Scrubby a few more times and get ourselves a gold card. For some, they just didn't want to sweep, so like, you know what, let's give them a prize if they sweep up. What do you guys think? Clever. It's the kind of thing like you do to small kids. Let's make it a game! By the way, I have pulled up the chat to see you guys chatting now. I see someone mentioned that there was a guy whatever you wanted, and then you know you didn't know in the end because they already had like a boyfriend. Polyamory is a thing. I know lots of queer folks who are poly, so I don't know if there's any polycules in the chat. Shout out to all of you guys for making such a tough and difficult love situation work for yourselves and having all those awesome people and love in your life. I know that, especially as an ace person, it works really, really well for me to be in a poly relationship for, you know, various reasons. I gotta shout out like every person on the rainbow. Just about every sexuality. You're all getting a shout out during this run, I guess, apparently. So congratulations. We're using Thumpy here, by the way, to get Perksy. Another one of our interesting chats that we use once at the very end of the run. We get to see cute little ear wiggles. So, you know, you can never complain about cute little ear wiggles. And then we see, of course, this is a ghost and he disappears. You really don't want to forget Perksy, because like I've mentioned, there's a couple like things that you'd have to go back for, and maybe it's not too bad. Going all the way through this entire haunted house again to get Perksy if you forget it is not fun. That's one of those chats that you just super do not want to forget. Now, the tack cue on this wall is also really finicky. Wow. Yes. I almost never get it the first time. That was like a miracle. That's probably the first time I've ever gotten it completely right first try, ever. Now we're going to get asked 3 questions by this hamster. Technically, if you are able to get Yeppy on all the questions except the last one, which is always no, it is the fastest. But I mean, we are saving like mere seconds here. So it's not a huge deal if we don't get it correct. Hamsters, by the way, guys, do not come from eggs. They also do not grow into bunnies, which is always the last question. I mean, it would be kind of cool if hamsters grew into bunnies, but alas. And we also see that Spat is one of these creepy dolls here in the corner. He really fits that really well, almost a little too well. Yeah, Hamtaro needs to run into it, and Link has to use bombs. I'm just saying, yeah. Hamtaro canonically stronger than Link. That's a really good point. It's quite possible. Now we're gonna tell him to flip-flop, and he's not gonna. That's not gonna work though. Not gonna quite scare Spat. But now, if you guys remember from the theme song, you gotta watch out for those cats. You know, they're smarter than you think. Cats are enough. Even a ghost cat is enough to scare Spat away. He has some fears, guys. And now, for fun, there's this entire haunted house we've been going through. We've been seeing so many ghosts. And guess what prize we get? A rock! I mean, we get 5 rocks, but it's definitely a cute little Charlie Brown moment there. Just this tiny reference thrown in for fun. We have to run through all this. We see our Perksy friend again, in case you missed him the first time. Thankfully we didn't, and we can exit out of this mirror. Just take us straight back to the clubhouse. And this is where we learn about our next little fun adventure in the Wild Woods. We get to meet several new hamsters here. And remember earlier how I said we used Bizarro one time in the run? We're about to use it. Now let's see here if I actually take the optimal walking route in here, because I admit while I've played this game many times, I still tend to mess up this walking route in the Wild Woods. It's a bit of a maze, so it's not hard to get lost. And as we can see here, Cappy is talking to Spat, but Spat really flies away. So we know that he's here, but then he goes somewhere else, and he's gonna go back to Sunny Peak. I mentioned earlier we need to make sure to not accidentally hit the thing for Go-Go twice. This is why, because we'll have to run by that really quickly one more time. And then we see him using the catchphrase of the evil villain, and that's why we're like, yeah, that's really weird, what the heck? We get ham-packed, and then we know, oh great, something is definitely up to no good. Now there's other ways to figure out that he's actually over by Sunny Peak and do this whole puzzle if you want. But, I mean, we're speedrunners. We just know what we're doing, so we'll just run there really quickly. Thank everything. We're very fortunate. We get to just run as fast as we can. By the way, you guys see those music notes? We'll be checking that out later. And not much later, in fact. We're getting very close to the traditional hamster wedding, at least according to the video games. And we're going to go up here, and what's extra cool too is, I mean, we know once we reunite people, they have happy endings, but it's really fun seeing the Hamlet Bros all fat and happy and sleeping together. They're just taking a little nap. Aww. And we walk up a little bit, because if we walk on that newspaper, that is a really large amount of time lost. She, just really goes at you. And as I mentioned earlier, Hamtaro gets, smacked into a lot. Spat is just not a nice dude. And he's also not very smart. He's like, haha, don't go in there. I definitely didn't do anything. Ha 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 ha. I don't believe you. It's weird how that's not very believable, isn't it? But then unfortunately, though, he loses his hat. Because, Cappy... Oh, I tack-you'd instead of dig-digged. Wow, there we go. Finally, my second messed up chat. You always get at least one in a run, I swear. So we're gonna ham-ha this bloke. And unfortunately, the poor guy is going to learn that to inform us about his cap being missing. Now, you can do this in a different order, and I know a lot of the guides for this game, which, by the way, there's some really great guides for this game. They're not perfect by any means, but they cover everything you need to know by far. But I like to get my hot spring egg now, personally, because I forget it. So getting it as soon as possible is basically my way of remembering. And then very quickly, we're going to run over to the side, and we are going to sesame this door. And you're probably thinking, why the heck is she running over there? However, if we go inside, getting this dig is slightly faster than going down the vine to get the other dig to get out of the level. Because we want to get back to the Wild Woods as quickly as possible here. Also, a fun fact, I don't know about all of the other Game Boy Advance games. I'm not even sure about the Game Boy Color game, but a lot of the other Game Boy Advance games, to my knowledge, Hamtaro can run diagonally. In this game, there are sprites that would allow him to run diagonally, but they don't use them or allow you to use them for some reason. Shrugs?
Huh.
Yes, you can look diagonal and do all of that and do like you would run, but you don't get to use them. Ham Games, which I think... I want to say that was actually the next game after this one. It allows you to run diagonally fully and actually takes use of the friggin' sprites. Also, as you saw, I ran around Cappy to talk to him. This is because this allows us to meet Bog faster and get caught faster. It makes this entire sequence much, much quicker, instead of going through tons of cutscenes that are completely unnecessary. Big time save. I have to thank Immers again for teaching me that. I gotta say, guys, it's nice to have the world record speedrunner give you tips sometimes. Hamtaro community is really friendly, so if you like the idea of speedrunning Hamtaro games, guys, we're on Discord. Find us. There are links in like basically all of the game chats. You'll be able to find the Hamtaro.
It's not just like a Hamtaro speedrunning Discord. It's very specifically a hamster Discord.
Yeah, we have like
all things hamsters.
Yeah, we have like things where you can share pictures of just hamsters for fun and all kinds of stuff. It's really great. And haha, we have captured him in a cage. We'll teach Cappy a lesson here. And Bog is so happy that he helped out. He's such a good guy. He caught a bad hamster. Now we're gonna talk to Cappy and mention how blue our friend is without his hat. And Cappy, being a major I mean, you can tell by his name, he likes hats. He's gonna be like, I will meet this man who loves hats. And they go and they meet each other and they become really intense friends right away. It's very, like I said, this game is great for showing off all the different kinds of love and relationships you can have. Hey, Sinisauria, speedruns.com, you don't close the stream. For sure, but speedruns.com, Heartbreak, there is definitely a link in the forums to the Discord chat. Especially if you like got some hamsters and such that you love. Gotta show those off. It'll be a hamburger. There we go. We get Hambury, which unfortunately we do not use. We're going to start getting a lot more chats that we never use during this particular speedrun. The all chat ham chat speedrun is a little more interesting because I think in the end you use just about all of them. Except the very last one. You do get one right at the end you never get to use. Unless you are going through the game extra. Like after you beat the game you can go back, even if we any percented. We could go back and just continue playing the game to get rid of all the rest of the stuff, you know, purely for our own amusement, essentially. But, I mean, we're not going to do more speedruns. We have to go fast. Sesame. So get in here, go past the Pepsi, the Pepsi feather. We will be entering this cave again at a point in the run to actually kind of do something. I promise we're not just coming in here just to dig a little bit and then leave every single time. Ta-da! Perfect. I didn't actually know if I would be close enough to manage to get that ta-da, but we are. He's going to teach us Clingy, which we very badly need. Gotta have Clingy to be able to find a wedding singer in a little bit. And if you guys know the Hamtaro series, I'm pretty sure you know which hamster we're going to be talking to. Ah, I see this. They're going to go ham and join the Hamtaro Discord. Anyone in the chat, if you throw some really great hamster puns, I will start reading them out loud. I pulled up my chat on like one of my side computer things just so I could have it. In case you guys were getting excited or noticed fun things. Like I said, this game takes place in New Hampshire. I mean, the show is really, it's really great for having hamster puns and everything too. But we've got Clingy, so we're gonna go over here and we're gonna talk to this old elder ham. And we're just gonna be like, hey man, what's up? And he's gonna be like, whoa, we can't find our wedding singer. We have to wait queue. It's very unfortunate to have to wait queue. But it's okay, guys, because we're gonna help him out. We're gonna find that wedding singer. Remember that music from earlier? We're gonna go over there, and that's why we got Clingy. Want to make sure that we can swing a vine and find our awesome wedding singer. Thankfully, he's in the jungle for some reason. Even though he's singing for a wedding, he's just like, I'll just hang out randomly here in the jungle somewhere. Where you have to know the specific ham chat to get there. Whee! Nice little swing here. And Here we go, playing their guitar. We tell him how, hey, they're wait queuing for you. Which you know is kind of funny. Wait a queue, you know, is a line. And then we, gosh, that was really forced. Then we get thank you. Another good ham chat. Yes. Okay, we got some good puns coming in. I do admit I like to ham it up from time to time. And I think, Super Doggy, I do know some of your puns. Just some. I can't remember them all. I think I've said a few during this. Let's see here. Travis Sham mockery of the stream. Yeah, there's a great amount of ham puns, guys. So we've gotten the wedding singer. Now let's go watch a traditional hamster wedding ceremony. Now with an evil doer who's been destroying everything involving romance and love, nothing could go wrong. Incredulous eyebrow raise. Something is unfortunately very much going to go wrong with this wedding, unfortunately. Well, we get to see traditional hamster weddings have some serious tribal stuff going on. That's cool. They got some masks. They got all kinds of stuff going. They got to place a red marble. Weird. We've been collecting marbles this whole game. I wonder if that's going to be a thing. The 3 marbles we collect in this game make for one of the coolest references in this entire game, honestly. And yet again, Hamtaro gets super ran in. Like, he could have gone around, and he just went out of his way to smack Hamtaro. And yet again, Hamtaro was like, okay, Leia, let's get up and save this wedding. So we leave town to chase him, and then we come immediately right back. And the reason we're coming back, guys, is remember how I said we had to make one more purchase? It's about time to do so. And this shopkeep is just being a jerk and not taking no for an answer. Which, by the way, because I know that you run Ham United, Mike. They reuse the theme for yes, for the shopkeep and from that game in this one.
They reuse a lot of music between the first and second game. But what is cool about the music, at least in these 2 games, I can't remember if it comes up in any of the other games, is there's both games have this dancing side game, mini game that you can do, where you can unlock all the tracks in the game, and then go to the stage or the coolest stage in the second game, and use all the different hand chats you've unlocked to make this cool dance to go with any of the music. Which is completely pointless. I don't think it even counts towards. I don't think you get anything out of it other than getting to make dances. But it's just a cool little
completion and 100% speed runs. Now, right here, Spat throws this stick at us that ends up being his entire undoing. Karma, man. Karma hits you hard. Now we're going to be running, as you guys may have noticed, I got shot at by someone with a slingshot and some very interesting eyebrows. What could possibly go wrong with this wedding? And this Breath of the Wild DLC, it's weird. It's definitely a little weird. We're going to run over here now, though, because this is the Inventor Shop. Now, without saying hi to anyone in any way whatsoever, we're just going to immediately come over here and throw him some stuff and be like, hey, make me a slingshot. And he's like, alright, cool, I've never met you before. That's fine. Hamsters, they're very polite in this game, even though we break into their homes and don't ask anything or knock on doors. And he calls it a hamapult, which is, I mean, cute. I won't get you wrong by any means. Now, the reason we were also going in this specific order and getting this first is because it saves us a time of getting shot by the hamster
multiple times.
Yes. If we do it in a slightly different order, we get shot at a lot more, and it's a really long cutscene. The ham shot is both one of the neat little things in the game that's like, oh, this is cool, and also one of the most terrifying parts of the game right when we get to the end, and you guys will see that. Best part about this game, you're about an hour, 20 minutes in, and it's grueling. You know, you're like, dang, I've had a really good speed run today. I'm going to make something out of it. And then you get the final boss, which comes down to RNG. And it's going to be really fun that we're going to have to try to take it on with our slingshot. So. Does the hamapult shoot cured pork? No, it does not. Unfortunately. I mean, I'm pretty sure the hamsters, I don't think they're omnivores. I don't know, but I feel like they're vegetarian hams. They eat a lot of sunflower seeds on the show. You know, we eat sunflower seeds, crumb, crumb, crumb. My best friend's Hamtaro, Little Hamster's Big Adventures. Hamtaro. I don't have an auto-tuned voice.
One of the things you'll learn if you decide to start speedrunning these games, if you pick up the Japanese versions, the theme song for Hamtaro in the Japanese version it's not as good. I know there's a lot of people hate watching the dub. Watching the Hamtaro dub is worth it just for the theme music. The theme music is that much better.
Yes, and the voices in the dub are honestly also phenomenal. Like, you're missing very little by watching in the original language if you want to go and try to find it in English. There's quite a few episodes in English, even more than I think got shown on Cartoon Network, but not all of them. So, I mean, eventually you're going to hit, like, episode, like, 150 or something like that, and you're going to be stuck in Japanese, but I mean, by that point, you're very well invested in the series. I don't think you're going to have too big of a problem. And as you guys notice, look at that, it's a red marble! Of course, we actually have to return this marble because it's very important for the wedding ceremony. You know, we want those hams to get married. Such a sweet, beautiful, beautiful marriage. Let them become husband and wife in hamster world. So we come in here and everyone's like freaked out, and then we're just like, hey guys, we found this marble! We saved the entire day! Yay! And we apparently fulfill a prophecy that's a part of a legend that the marble would get stolen at some wedding and we would come and save it. Now what's really interesting is eventually we're going to get to the red marble. And what I've always been confused about is how many red marbles have they got laying around for weddings so that they can just give us one if it's that important?
Right?
Apparently...
I always wondered that too.
Yeah, but apparently they've got enough. And now, guys, we're going to see these two hamsters get married. They're going to give us a ham chat we don't use and all that, but look at that. They're in love. They're married. Aww. It's actually pretty heckin' sweet. As you guys can see, too, our love meter is now above 0.5%, so we've saved just enough relationships to get through the game. And also to watch each other get our faces stretched by Vasti. Our love is wide. Which, I mean, as you can tell, I mean, wide is expansive and everything else. Oh my gosh, we found it! That's marvelous, guys! Thank you for everyone for being really punny in stream. I gotta appreciate that. We'll wait here. He's going to return to us the marble. And then we'll have collected 3 marbles of power. I mean, what? You guys will understand this in a minute. We're about to hit a serious Legend of Zelda reference. Now, we're gonna go to Sunny Peak. You're gonna be like, haven't you guys been to Sunny Peak a lot? And I'm gonna be like, yes, we have. But we have a good reason, I promise. Sunny Peak, there's a lot of little puzzles that we have to go back and forth to Sunny Peak to solve. And this last one is absolutely phenomenal. There is going to be an amazing Legend of Zelda reference, because again, as you've noticed, we've collected 3 items, Triforces, of power, and we're going to use them to pull a sword out of a stone. Master Sword! That's why when I saw someone say this is really weird Breath of the Wild DLC, I had a bit of a chuckle, and I'm like, yeah, this is really weird Breath of the Wild DLC. Now, this is why we got the oil can earlier. It makes this go a little bit faster for us. We don't have to stop and talk to the selling hamster now. We already got our oil can to flip over that switch. We're gonna pop back up here, because I think you guys noticed there was a giant minecart earlier. So, we're going to throw some oil on there. Put. We get to use our put, which is very fun. It's just fun to say in general. And now we finally get to use go. We got that so much earlier, and we really don't use it many times during the run. About a total of 3, unless I'm forgetting one. Now the hamsters enjoy playing Donkey Kong for a little bit, or Diddy Kong, or a little bit of minecart action. Very quickly. We're heavily referencing Nintendo games here for a minute. We're about to get Rub. This is why we've been getting rocks the whole games, but we never actually managed to use them. So, unfortunately, you know, we get polish. We never polish rocks. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the base game by doing that, like buying costumes and all kinds of fun stuff. And on the home screen, if you're playing through the game and you have costumes proper, you get to see them on. But we don't get to do that. Now, let us replace the Triforce's marbles. Oh gosh, it's so hard. So hard to not mess that up. I mean, it just rolls right off the tongue. It's just what you expect, you know, from a Hamtaro game. And I'm gonna, once I go to pull the sword out, I'm gonna go totally quiet so you guys can hear the music here, because that is not a Zelda reference. I don't know what they were going for. Oh yeah, Zelda puns are cool, but you don't want to try and force it. Woof! That's a good one. And now yet again, yes, we see Hamtaro just crazy crying as they go down. And bop. Here we go, guys. We wanted to get that spoon early. It saves us a little bit of time. We could go back to the clubhouse and learn that Spat is in Spat's tower. Yes, the tower named after him. Funny that he's gone there. But we learned that he's gone there, and we will need the spoon eventually to get in. So.
I forgot to flip the switch.
Oh no!
I put, and then I did. You gotta hit A after you put. It's two separate inputs, so I just told everybody to listen to Hamtaro speedrun right there.
I actually did that the other day and super killed a run that was on a great pace.
Oh.
It just happens. It sucks. And I mean, I'm to the point, because we're still running in English, and I'm talking about runs that like kill pace with one small mistake. Like, there's not much left I can do to cut time, so when I lose big chunks like that, who knows? I was joking because I've had such bad luck with this that this would finally be the stream where I like PB for the marathon. We'll see. Just keep your fingers crossed. It is not impossible. Now we're gonna ham-ha this good ham, and he's gonna mention that he really badly needs this spoon-looking thing for his Hamapult. And then the wife of said ham, who just wants to give him a smoochie. That's all she wants. She loves him and wants to give him a smoochie. Oh, I didn't mean to click no P. I mean to click yeppy. There we go. Some of those you have to go through the whole chat again, and it's a giant pain in the butt. You see, just wants to smoochie. And of course, ta-da! We just happen to have this spoon. Weird, right? And of course, she gives it to her husband, and he's like, "How did you find this? Oh my goodness!" And you know, this is where he like confesses how much he loves her. And they get all embarrassed because they think there's going to be some smooching, but you know, he's very sidetracked. You know, he's focused on his work. He wants to make that big old Hamapult. And it's really fun. This is the part he's like, "I couldn't have done it without you," and this finally woke me up. You know, like, to how important you are to me. That's a good man there. Thought the LTTP randomizer was later on. No, guys, we're already in Zelda. They are now. Yes, someone. Oh my gosh, someone's saying put in a hamster sprite for a custom sprite. Take the custom Hamtaro sprite. No one will understand the reference
awesome.
except Hamtaro runners, but it'll be perfect. Here we go. We're making them fall back in love, and of course, she's gonna try to go smoochy him again, and we're gonna be sitting there like, "Oh gosh, bushy, bushy, bushy." But he's gonna be so sidetracked that he's like, "Hey, I'll give you the Hamapult too once it's done." And then immediately after we leave, we come back and you can see that she's giggling her face off. Guys, I think she got her smoochie. She seems quite pleased. So we're here to get the Hamapult 2 to see one of the absolutely most adorable sprite moments in the game, where we get to see some cute little ham butts get flung in over a castle wall. It's really cute, honestly. I can't lie, it's adorable.
Oh my god, there we go.
Yeah, that's also a pain in the butt because you have to use all of these special chats only. So it's a pain in the butt because you have to scroll all the way down to get them all, and it takes a good bit. Gotta go, and then we're gonna click this button with a stick, and then here we go, guys. Cute hamster butt! Whee! They tuck and roll really well. I'm gonna say, if I got flung over a wall with a catapult, I would not survive so well. I'd break several bones. Oh yes, a smoochie, 90s sitcom. Ooh. Of course, now we land over here, and this poor guy's like, "Oh no, I'm supposed to be guarding this." And yeah, Yeah, don't do this puzzle. We're gonna do the puzzle, bruh. You can't stop us. It's time for some puzzle doing. Now we're gonna be doing some moving around to some panels. And this is a good bit of fun here to solve the puzzle. Don't worry, the puzzle is not too hard. There is literally multiple ways to solve the puzzle as well. Wait a sec. Of course I'm gonna mess it up. Watch me oh my gosh, no, what have I done? Okay, this is gonna be fun. Okay, there we go, got it fixed. Okay, I was a little scared there for a minute. There's 2 ways to solve the puzzle, and I almost kind of got myself in a way that really wasn't a way at all. It happens. Even like, I've been doing the puzzle a different way, and it's like a second or so slower. And then I thought to myself, man, I should really try to do it right for the marathon. And, oops. These things happen. Thankfully, though, it's not too hard to get this puzzle done. As you can see, we're getting most of this gone through here pretty easily. It's a nice little slide puzzle. I mean, it's got a bit of a challenge. The hardest part is if you don't know that you can re-walk on the button. I've seen some people casually play through this and get stuck there like, if I walk on the button, isn't it going to mess everything up? And it's like, no, you can walk on the button. Or some people think you're supposed to control Bijou, and it's like, no, that's not how it works either. And unfortunately, Lord Spat won't be happy with him. However, we come in here, and remember how I mentioned we needed Perksy for one part of the run? We don't have this key, so we're not going to be able to save her. But we need Perksy here to know that his loved one is trapped behind the door. And then pass chat. Remember how I said we needed that one time right at the end? Pass chat, everybody. Now we can say, ah, eek, help! That's basically what we're passing along. Oh no, she's in total terror! It's like we can no longer stand this. So we tell him, hey, you know what? We're going to free them! Don't worry, we'll save your love! Oh, I didn't mean to click no P. Oh no! This is one of those ones where we actually have to click through again. As I mentioned earlier, you have to hold B and click the A button, so if you're not quite ready for it, or if you're just tapping the B button to go really fast and you're just not thinking, sometimes you accidentally have a couple extra text boxes. Try to keep the race really interesting. Now we notice here, Spat here is like, how did you get into our lair? Like, how'd you do this? I mean, we're really crafty hams. And then we see this amazing robot that he's got going here. The Haminator 3000. And there's only one thing we can do, guys. We're thinking like, hey, let's try to shoot the Haminator 3000. And we very quickly learn that ain't gonna do the trick. So we get knocked out. And this is gonna get to the part, like I said, where things get really tense. And I have to fear for my life and worry that I'm going to get murdered by the RNG. But we'll see what happens. The RNG and the hit placement for beating this boss. We're about to get an item called the Love Shot. And I'm trying to not make a crude joke, but literally we have to take the Love Shot and we shoot it into the robot's mouth, and that's how we defeat the robot. I'm trying to be dead serious. Please don't get mad at me. All of the people who are running this stream and being awesome. I promise I'm not trying to be crude on stream. It's actually what we have to do. Oh, I didn't mean to click Hamha again. I'm supposed to click Chuck Chuck. Chuck Chuck, there we go. And then they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we got thrown out. And look at that, Mega Q, see, she does it again. We never use Mega Q, but she says it often. And now we ham team, and we've been getting just enough love meter this whole game to be able to have enough to get the Love Shot in the first place to shoot with. Oh no, I'm being reported for lewdness. I really apologize, guys. I'm actually dead set trying to explain the game mechanics. I promise. But now that we've got the Love Shot, we have a chance to hit the final boss. So we're gonna take this, go back to Spat Tower, which of course is the door open now, so we can just run. You can re-jump on the catapult if you feel like, but it takes a long time, so why? Now we see this friend, and he's just in there like, why are you here? There's no way you can stop us. And then we're like, yeah, Harmony helped us out. Boom! Love! Now we're going to be running around here, and we're just going to be waiting for him to do his attack. First attack is always a tornado, and you just don't want to miss it. Now. Okay. You can sometimes get him to open his mouth on that cycle. So we're just waiting patiently and being safe. We don't want to get knocked out of the... we got knocked out. Okay. We've got one more time. We've got one more try here before the RNG is gonna super murder us on this. As I mentioned, this is where the run gets rough, guys. Unfortunately, it just likes to kill us right here. Again, and sometimes the RNG lets you get it in 2 hits, and it's not so bad. Laser. So if we're lucky, maybe he will be kind to us. Okay, avoided the tornado. It's actually pretty hard to avoid that tornado. It's very odd that way. We got another laser. We're just waiting. See, this run is basically waiting to be almost ready to end, just based on a little bit of luck. Nope. Another tornado. Oh gosh, I have almost no way out. Darn, guys. We could potentially soft reset here, as I was warned earlier, but I'm going to just go for it again. I don't want to try to reset if we can possibly avoid it. It's going to be pretty hard at this point. We just have to hope for luck. Those tornadoes can get you stuck in spots and be a really big pain in the butt. Okay, just avoided it. Thank everything. Okay, as you can see, his mouth is open. And even though we hit it, sometimes the hit collision on that is just off. And no matter how good you do, it just does not accept it. Oh, so unfortunate. I had a pretty good run going here, not like... Oh, there's that. I noticed he opened his mouth way too late. I wasn't even going to be able to hit it at that point. Darn it. Keep going back. This is where I could get caught up on, guys. I was ahead in the run, but Mike, you're going to have to let me know if you hit it, because I'm going to be so upset at myself. Okay, ham scope. No! Oh my gosh, yet again! It is not just going to accept the love shot this time, guys. I don't know what's going on here. This game, as I mentioned earlier, this is a okay, ham scope. Please. Oh my goodness! Is this like the 4th time now that it's done this to me?
Oh my god.
4th time the ham scope hasn't actually been hit, even though it hits the mouth. So guys, this is why we said a 140 estimate, just in case. This happens, and it sucks because it's right at the end of the speedrun. You could be doing absolutely great, and we're not like choking or being horrible right now. It's just so hard to actually land this properly. Okay, got some lasers. Nope, got blown out again. I'm trying to go for riskier strats to have more time to aim just because this has been going so badly now. Don't worry, we're going to do this. As you can see, he's trying to soft reset because it can give you slightly better RNG odds. I'm down. If you beat me after doing this whole race...
I don't think it affects RNG. I think it's just faster to get back into the fight. Although, the last time I timed that was a long time ago when I timed that. I might be misremembering, but I'm sticking with it. It's in my notes, so I'm sticking with it.
Sweet. Okay, we might really get this one, guys. There! Finally, we hit that shot! Gosh, it is a ham heartbreak. I've been very close to English World Records on this, and sometimes too you just get really bad RNG with this first boss, and like this boss fight. Sometimes you can hit him in literally 2 things, and then other times he will just take 5 before he even opens his mouth. It's very rough, and the hit collision box to actually get the shot into his mouth, as you guys saw, it was banging right on his mouth, and it just doesn't accept it always. It can be quite a pain in the butt. It is not time on last hit. We are almost to time. It's going to, the screen's going to white out, and then we'll have time. I was very concerned that I was going to actually lose that race right at the last second. It's, as you guys are saying, like I'm saying, the only tough thing about this run, right, this end boss, the sticky game can be a giant pain in the butt, and this end boss can be absolutely brutal.
Oh, you punk.
And yet again, see, alright.
Tornado on the second attack, like
time! At least on my end. Sorry for interrupting.
Forget it. I'll just sit here, I'll just dodge a second attack. And then he opened his mouth in the second attack.
Yeah, as you guys can see, this is a really, really rough ending. Like, incredibly so. You miss that shot, and it's just... And it's right at the end of your run, too. Which makes it really hard, because you can be complete. You can have a gold splits all the way down the line, and then...
And it does not matter.
Yep, if it just doesn't feel like being your day, you're doomed.
As you saw in your fight, I think I heard you say, the hitbox for actually getting the shot in is ridiculous. The angle of your shot actually matters.
Yes, which is which is why we're having so much difficulty. It's such an odd game. It's right at the end, has this one really hard part. At least, I mean, I guess at worst, we get to kind of see the credits, which is neat. You know, get to see, they go through all of the ham chats, even some of the ones we don't get. So you get to see some of their cute sprite work. Does not entirely go to waste. It is very, like I said, we really hope to get the second hit with good RNG. The hardest part about this run is you want the good RNG to hit him at the second point, and it's almost impossible to aim and get him with, like, if you're not already aiming, you're basically gonna miss almost every time, and it's quite torture. As we can see, guys, throw in whichever pride symbol and like new Twitch Global that you guys feel the closest to. Spam it in the chat for some hype. We'll give Mike some good luck here with some awesome pride. I'm gonna see here. Oh wait, I can't go out of mine. I'll stop the music. That would be bad. Gotta have a little music going. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, guys. Big round of applause for Mike. That's a rough one.
Yeah, but
there goes my like. Hey, maybe I'll get a PB
how many
today.
Hamtaro races there have been. Actually, this is actually the first race I know of.
This may have actually been the first
is
one.
definitely the equalizer in a race, because I was pretty far behind going into the fight.
And yeah, with a little bit of luck, you may have actually had it right before me.
Yeah, that would have been.
Final boss fight is brutal in this. Just make sure you call time for your time, Mike, when you're done.
I will. Oh, time. Wow, I forgot how fast it came up. But I had 1:36:46 on my end. I never mind being open about my splits. I was a couple of minutes behind my PB going into the last split, and I finished seven whole minutes behind PB. That boss fight is something else.
I'll be dead honest about my splits. I was about to get a PB to that final boss fight.
Yeah, exactly. It never fails.
That boss fight is brutal. It's only, like I said, it's a fun game to speedrun if you're like new to speedrunning and you're like, hey, maybe I want to speedrun a game and learn. As you can see, guys, though, however, hamsters are still out there and they need to find love, so we can continue this game if we want. But I mean, we're speedrunners, so we won't.
Well, GG racers, congrats on beating Hamtaro.
Thank you. We got very close to not quite making it.
I hope everyone out there enjoyed this run. I thought it was really neat. I've started to play this game before, and it really, I wasn't ready for what it was gonna be. It was just like a lot of weird talking.
Yes.
Talking and knowing what the puzzles are, and yeah, it's a very odd run, but fun.
But yes, so coming up next, we have Dilbert's Desktop Games.
Yep.
Which, if you don't know about that, which you probably don't, you're gonna want to hang out for that. And luckily, the runner for that is actually Mike, who is a racer, so we can get that pulled up real quick. Just give us a minute, y'all. Thanks.